for this is a Tokyo show teaser. This just in, stunning satellite imagery. Well, oh no, look. Dun, dun, dun. Tokyo show. Well, hello YouTube. My name's James PFP, and I'm here to tell you about the upcoming release of a new live stream that I'll be doing. It'll be taking not the place of the podcast I was doing before, not podcast, the BanjoCast, but it's quite important. It's quite important to things I've been doing lately. I can see how applicable it is and how useful it is for doing so as a live stream. So this is the teaser for the Tokyo show. Oh, the Tokyo show. What do you need to know about the Tokyo show? Well, it is really all about wonders of the world. Certain wonders of the world and the cumulative effects of philosophy. And what I'll be doing in the Tokyo show is by means of explaining why this is a teaser. We'll be playing a game of Free-Civ, which is what we're looking at here. And the wonders of the world which matter in Free-Civ include such wonderful things as the Shakespeare's theater. I guess that's called the Globe Theater. If you really want to get into that, the Globe Theater is one of Shakespeare's better known theaters. The Globe Theater, right? The Globe Theater. And we're playing Free-Civ amongst the Euclideans. But this is me playing a game of Free-Civ against 4 AI countries. And you can see a little bit more about the Tokyo show right here. The Tokyo show, we can see some of the more expensive things in the list. At the time that the screenshot was taken, it had a port facility. Pretty cool. A sewer system. A stock exchange. Yes, by a university, Shakespeare's Theater, and the Statue of Liberty. Guess what? It had the theater and the Statue of Liberty. I can't quite remember which one came first, but we'll get into that. But because of Shakespeare's Theater, Tokyo, it's not all going to be like this where we'll be looking at screenshots. My God, how slow would that be? But it's about the cumulative effects of philosophy, remember. This is going to be over-the-shoulder gameplay to go along with this. But we can see some of what I'll be talking about in terms of cumulative effects. Well, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, at least as far as Free-Civ is concerned, the wonder of the world, which is better than the other, when it comes to, is this one better, is that one better? Leonardo's Workshop loses to Shakespeare's Theater in terms of long-term gameplay. The auto upgrade of units and is very nice. I've used it in the past. I've had it as part of. I've been really good at the science part in the past, and this time I decided to allow other nations who were researching heavy at the time. They were really kicking my ass when it came to the research. How to put this? There was another nation which got the Marco Polo's embassy. We'll get into that really shortly. And there is yet another nation who got, what is the other wonder? Damn. Yeah, I've got notes here that I'm going by. What did I say? Oh yeah, the Leonardo's Workshop, the one we were talking about. The Leonardo's Workshop is a difficult one to get to because it allows invention, which in turn allows gunpowder, which was a unit I upgraded to practically the moment that I could. And at some previous time in the past, obviously when, say, certain types of sailing ship would have been more in favor than others, like, there's a galleon and there's a frigate. The galleon not causing any trouble at the moment, but the frigate, it is causing a bit of trouble, as is this tiny little caravel. And oh look, it's an elite destroyer, which is currently sentried. Interesting. Shakespeare's Theater, cumulative effects, that one's greater than having Shakespeare's Theater in a single city. Allows me to have this huge, what I'm calling a museum fleet, which never gets automatically upgraded. And because it doesn't get automatically upgraded, because it's Shakespeare's Theater, that set of units has much more long-term use than most people, certainly no AI would ever see it. So I beat the AI to Shakespeare's Theater roundly, and they didn't even see it coming. It's got a working museum fleet, and I mean a working museum fleet. And just as a teaser, I showed you in a clip already, there was a breaking satellite imagery. Let's just have a quick gander across the museum fleet here. You can see this unit is actually stationed in Tokyo. But Shakespeare's Theatre removes all unhappiness otherwise involved with military action. So I'm capable of growing Tokyo at this very moment in time if I wish. It doesn't even have a supermarket. But it's got quite a bit of luxury, and it's got quite a bit of trade. So, what else? Oh, what else about Tokyo? What else? It's about vision. It's all about vision. Oh, what are these guys screaming at? Are they screaming at because they're in a caravel? Or are they screaming because the spy is over there? What's she holding in her hand anyway? Yeah, the spies, they work really hard. I couldn't believe it. I got to espionage quick enough to upgrade a hell of a lot of diplomatic units. And because, look, this is the Tokyo show, right? It's the Tokyo show. I'm playing as the Japanese, and I'm currently winning. So, and you can see the supported units, 9. Most of them are on the books there. Most of them you can see. More than half of them have sails, which means pollution-wise they're not large pollution-causing units. And because they're not pollution-causing units, they act as technological bridges in so many ways. And so does philosophy, hey? You can see some of the Japanese population figures here. And the year that we're in, 1752. This is my gold number. There's my tax rates. You can see I'm on the brink of actually kicking another technology here. And Tokyo itself, 2.7 million citizens, size 23. It's about vision, right? The spy units, they get to see... how do I put this? We'll start with the caravel. The Tokyo Show caravel is this one right here. And it was commissioned as part of the Tokyo Show when it was halfway around the world. Well, no, it didn't. It wasn't actually halfway around the world, but it sailed around the world to get to where it needed to be. And because I had Magellan's expedition, that caravel has a movement bonus, as does the galleon and the frigate, and the destroyer and the transport. Anything I build from Tokyo's harbor doesn't cause unhappiness, and it gets a movement bonus because somewhere on the other end of my known world, the island nation of Japan, which is the original population and is now spreading out to many other islands in the region, this Tokyo show has been key because it was positioned at just the right moment in time, in just the right place, and I knew or recognized I could do it and did it. And so several hundred turns ago, I really started setting up this Tokyo show. I'll show you the details later. But this museum fleet is really interesting, and the vision employed by this unit when it starts is no greater than this unit when it starts, or indeed an explorer unit, which means it can only see a block of 9 every turn, 1 in any given direction. So when it explores the terrain that it's on, it only ever sees this far. But the spy allows for a vision distance of 2, including these dark units. So a spy sees farther than the city does, since it gets all of these squares as well. And boy, those spies are hard employed. You can see how each of these ships, which otherwise don't have a very far vision range, they now do, since they have spies on board. That's part of what the Tokyo show does, ladies and gentlemen. The Tokyo show sees all, and because they see all, this museum ship group gets to be part of the action. Let's show you some more of what the Tokyo show sees. This was the first screenshot taken moments after it occurred. I gave you a little taste of this. This is just a teaser, but the kind of thing you'll be seeing happening. This is the actual moment of first contact initiated at sea by the opposing nation. The only opposing nation, I mean to say, the only undiscovered nation who is AI, happens to be AI, that I hadn't already found first. this caravel has been key in making first contact with both this nation and the one which is immediately located down this a ways. This is the Danish nation, the Danes. And these guys have been giving me no end of grief, technologically speaking, alongside of the other two nations, well, the other three nations. We have the, I'll give you the Tokyo show teaser. I mean, we got a spy right here. Look at all the troops that are gathered around to see her perform. We got Phalanx showing up from here in Esbjerg. That's incredible. Esbjerg sending out his Phalanx to watch the Tokyo show. We've got this looks like a hardened conscript who, I could probably actually take this guy. He's no farther ahead than I am in terms of what he's got protecting his cities. We've got Alpine troops over here, also hardened, but they get their hardened from a technological advance, not from actual combat. So they've never engaged in combat with my nation, but that's not necessarily true for all other nations. Yeah, so the Tokyo show dropped off that spy right after we initiated a ceasefire with this nation. And there's a trade mission underway to take care of this, which we'll get back to at another time. We'll get forward. So I'll give you as I was saying, the diplomatic lowdown on this key moment in history here. We've got first contact initiated by the Thai, like the Thailand. So this is a Thai destroyer, while to the north of us, the Danes, who are quite advanced science speaking, but have been struggling with growing the size of the cities, which they seem to have reasonably rationally spaced around the landscape compared to others. We got those damnable Danes, the perfidious Swedes, who are there at war with, the illustrious Iroquois, who are also actually at war with the Swedes, and the Iroquois are located far to the east here. I mean, they'll be far to the west shortly for the Tokyo show here in the caravel, but that's beside the point. And then first contact with the Thai, who I've got very little other contact with. But the Tokyo show, of course, is here with this, what I'll call satellite imagery. It's satellite insofar as this is a satellite of the city which is supporting it, Tokyo. This is the Tokyo show's first scoop since its inception, when it was first born several hundred years in the past, at least as far as this flat Earth is concerned. It's not necessarily flat, but it's been projected in a flat style, a Euclidean manner. What else is there to say here from the satellite imagery? Well, this is the basically the message report for this turn, 1752. Kyoto finished building freight. That's interesting. Kanazawa has finished building a spy. Ooh, look, spies plenty here. Shizuoka grows size 9, yes. Also another growth message here from Achiochi, and Tokyo grows. Tokyo, the home of the Tokyo show, ladies and gentlemen, it's grown to size 23. Hail Eris. Beautiful, beautiful. So that's the growth report. I don't think there's any other growth report information here. Sendai's finished building a university, which of course is important. And celebrations have been canceled in Hiroshima after it finished building its spy. We'll have more information on that as it becomes available here on the Tokyo show. But that'll be not now. I mean, this is just the teaser. So the first moment of first contact has been logged here in the diplomatic log as well. Greetings. As you can see, you have made contact with the Thai. Made contact with the Thai, but really they made contact with me as I was out at sea. So their destroyer had to have made contact with the caravel, who was in front of the other destroyer, if you remember the picture. And here's the first message. Greetings, Tokugawa Ieyasu. May I suggest ceasefire? We get to know each other better. This, of course, I agreed to. And then there are going to be no more hostilities because we're in a moment of ceasefire. Ceasefire will proceed for a number of turns. It gives me time to actually go and locate his nation, but I won't be sending a spy immediately. I'll probably be, you'll see. You'll see. The Tokyo show knows and will show. We'll show you too. And agreed to that totally agreed to that particular set of clauses. What else can we find out here? Well, there indeed is the caravel from Tokyo. This up here is the frigate from Tokyo. Here is the destroyer from Tokyo, which was located in the previous picture here. I moved it over to stand sentry. Those perfidious Swedes are indeed at war with everybody else on the planet except for me. They're in alliance with me and at war with all the rest. So I've been observing them for the period of this alliance, which only began a couple of turns ago, not really that long ago. As you can see, the Tokyo caravel has a spy on board already, since it can see as far as the destroyer can. And because I have Magellan's expedition, I get extra movement points for both these units. So I'm particularly well positioned to defend my own territory should anyone who my ally is at war with decides to attack me. And I'm hoping that it doesn't, because the Tokyo show's got its museum fleet here in full force. As you can see, also the spy seems to have disappeared. The show is over in Denmark. The Danes have, I imagine, have retired for the evening. The fog of war prevents us from understanding what's happening any further there to the north. But I can tell you, as part of this teaser, the ceasefire with the Danes is shortly going to end, and we will be at peace with them. And if the alliance with the Swedes turns problematic, well, then I will gladly break the treaty with them in order to maintain peaceful relationship with the rest of the planet. The Swedes will indeed be. I'm going to remember them as perfidious for logical reasons, and you will see them too. It's not only because I'm playing as the Japanese, but because this is indeed all about philosophy, and that's why I made that joke. Spies like these are indeed very important to the Tokyo show, and have been all along, since I knew what I could do with my diplomatic units. And because I'm playing as the Japanese, I respect many of the ancient forms. I've currently got the caravel selected, and I'm checking out what I can do with this unit. As I can see, the chance to win, attack, defend. Can attack, can defend against him, but I don't think he'll attack me or destroy me either. I don't think he can. In a sense, well, maybe he can do it, but he won't do it as part of when the ceasefire has been engaged. So he can outmaneuver me, but he can't outsee me. And he's practically forced into a trade embargo, or at least an exploration embargo, if he intends to head this direction. If he's exploring, I don't know. Or is he on an exploring turn, or is he on a mission to go and hit a particular Swedish city? I have no idea. Tokyo show, though, will be maintaining a close watch out for destroyers of other nations. And indeed, I intend to establish trade relationship with the Thai as well. Of course I do. We can see the spies effect amplified, or at least put into I guess demonstration here at the Oasis on this. It looks like an unexplored or unsettled island. I'm going to be using the spy to check it out on the ground. Enjoying a night camped out at the Oasis. Boy, gee, that Tokyo show, huh? Those crazy Japanese. Gotta love them. Here's the frigate. It's got hit points 2020. Well, you'll be seeing more about the hit points 2020 for the frigate. If the frigate were to take a slight amount of damage from a reasonably spaced technological unit, like, for example, if another one of these nations still has an old technology, I get some of those hit points back because wonders of the world, because philosophy has a cumulative effect on the way that it works. Because I chose to go for this different... I really love the museum fleet, because I chose to go for this different route when I was competing with the AI nations early on for, likely candidates. Leonardo's workshop was the one that I kind of had my eye on because I'd used it in the past. But Shakespeare's Theatre is more fun to play, because you get to play a game called Caesar's Bridge, which is linked if you look on the research tree. We can't do it right now, but we'll get back to it. Remind me to talk about Caesar's Bridge, because ships like the caravel, the galleon, and indeed the frigate act as bridges, and can act as bridges between high technology, which you want to keep hidden, from the research tree on unexplored nations. Just so happens they know that I've got this kind of unit. I guess the Thai had figured it out. Or they were keeping up with the Joneses, who the Joneses up until lately had been the Swedes. The Swedes are keeping pace with me, at least in terms of what they're putting in their harbors, I think. And this is what the Tokyo show is all about, figuring out what we know from what we think. Next one. It's the Tokyo show's actual, that's the one I began on. You can see some of the world here, though. Down here in the corner. This is on the eastern edge of the Japanese homeland continent. Any trade now on this homeland counts as a short-range trade hop. We've got the city of Sapporo actually showing pollution there on satellite imagery. Ooh. But the Japanese, hey, they're industrious. They cleaned up that pollution problem in no time. Not only that, we did it all around the country. As you can see, there's several rivers running around from these cities located on the eastern shore. The Tokyo show was there, and the Tokyo show recognized what would happen in the future if only. And indeed, the Tokyo show helped make if only into a reality. So, haha, I said so. Here's the next thing about the Tokyo show. I had decided upon the Tokyo show as an idea, as a concept, at a point in time in the past of this particular session with Free-Civ. And Free-Civ, by default, saves every turn the way that I've configured my server, which means there's about a 10 or 11 megabytes worth of information up to now, tracking every decision I made per turn and every decision that the AI made per turn. Some of these things are way, way in the past. I will never go back so far in the past. I can't go back to a failed state, but I do have the data. So if and when I choose to analyze this data a little more carefully, I can tell a lot of specific things about points in time. And I was making save points other than these autosaves, some of which I've carried up through, some of which you won't see the names for, but these are the dates in game time. At 150 BC, phew, long one. That's probably when I got to Republic at around 0 AD or CE. Here's a 120 years, 100. Yeah, that's at 0 there. So I made Republic before 0? Or maybe I lost another tech race there to the AI. Ticking over. This is at 300 AD or CE. Ticking over 2. There's the democracy point. I'm coming to the democratic way of government at 136, 137. And it took 5 turns, I remember that. 2, 3, 4, 5. So it was 142 when we were under a democracy. You can see the names of the time at times and points. This is the Tokyo show, just to explain the teaser entirely without rambling too much, but by showing the timeline. The Tokyo show is all about what happens when you don't want to rage quit a game, but you recognize, damn, I'm really going to have to play to now allow the game to to try to beat it. I might even lose in terms of long-term numbers against the AI. And to be quite frank and honest, the AI in this session is easy. And the easy AI kicked my ass early on, which is why I didn't get to democracy as a government form and my preferred type of government form, because I rely on what the game calls corruption. And I couldn't get rid of so-called corruption because not the Tokyo show. The Tokyo show occurs after the Democratic Revolution period. When this maybe win begins, that's the seeds. That's the seeds to the Tokyo show. Welcome, tax lull. The Democratic Revolution in 136 CE. I'm predicting maybe win in 150 CE. I turned the tax up 5 years later, like 5 production turns. Ain't over till, yeah, okay, so maybe win till ain't over till is 151 BC. I gotta almost write this down, but 151 BC to 166. There was a race between me and the Danes for the Adam Smith's trading company to not have to, because of the corruption, because of so much corruption, and you saw they turned the tax rate on. I'd only just turned the tax up to where it was supposed to be, which was 50-50 with science, or some fraction of science. And if you ask me why I did it that way, to keep my citizens happy no matter what happens, I'd allowed a certain amount of luxury, and luxury to me is the same as corruption. Once you consider those two as the same, end of problem. Democracy is the preferred and superior form of government. For this reason, and understanding the pollution problem is a direct result of this, because luxury. But anyhow, it ain't over till marks the point that I recognized, well, the AI beat me, and it was the Danes that did it. The Danes built Adam Smith's trading company. As a result, I have a stock exchange in every industrial center and every major port city. Anywhere at all that sends freight has a stock exchange to bargain with the luxury which comes from that. And then I just got nice and strategic about it. It ain't over till is what I said, and it's true. The Tokyo show was born in 166 CE. Let's go up in time. Got Magellan, by 180. And then I played a long turn. Oh, look, this is definitely the seeds of the Tokyo show. Got Magellan at 180, 15 years later, and then the Caravel, keep one Caravel, bing, bing, bing. That's the Tokyo show. Keep one Caravel for Tokyo. Take a chance on probably Shakespeare's Theater, and 186. And then perhaps the end, because the Tokyo show was starting to do trade with the Swedes. There's a manual save there. Research says 250, about 100 years later, and then and then ninja. That's the point at which spies become predominant throughout use. But because I'm playing as the Japanese, I still have many diplomatic units which never got upgraded because I didn't pick Leonardo's workshop, or indeed when I saw another nation just picked it up and built it in an incredible amount of time, I thought, whatever, because I can live without it. But the Tokyo show, the Tokyo show is point in time in the books. PTE. That's a Tokyo show end of act. End of one act and beginning of another act. That's Caesar's Bridge time. There's a city or a small settlement called Matsuma. Matsuma is only a specific size because it is measuring the real terms turn per turn, how long it takes things to change in a given place due to the activity of the Tokyo show in particular. But when I found Matsuma, I recognized that it was inland, had no problems with, well, it could be defended easily, and it's close to a potentially hostile border. Also, it has a lake inland, so it could have a harbor instead of a temple, or even in addition to a temple. But with a lake inland, perhaps I could get a big boat in there, built by the town itself, put in the lake. It would never be able to get to sea, but it would be the same as having an inland fort that I wouldn't have to use workers to build the fort for. It's a free unit that I don't have to even upgrade if I don't want to. So it's kind of like a tourist attraction in one way of thinking. The same as the Tokyo show. it wouldn't have been listed as a Tokyo boat. There was no way I could get a Tokyo boat in there unless I changed the geography to put a Tokyo boat in there to that inland lake. But that's an incredible amount of pollution. No thanks, not going to happen. PTE was what? 20217. Research says, while I'm doing all this yammer about the Tokyo show, I did not lose the benefit of trade from two major city wonders during this period. One of them was Republic and Democracy plus the Statue of Liberty. That's in Tokyo. Statue of Liberty allows me to avoid any more long terms like this 5 turns of anarchy. And that never occurred again. Not that mattered. I had it under control in all the cities, and the records will easily show that. But the second thing was the Colossus and the research race, which I was engaged with the other nations, the AI nations, meant that the Colossus has a limited time effect. It's not going to work forever. But for Kyoto, it was everything. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Tokyo show. As part of its teaser, I've already written down things to say about the capital of Kyoto. But this is part of the Japanese reference sheet for this, the Tokyo show. Population in 1756, when the Tokyo show's footage will become real time. The population of the entirety of Japan is 33.5 million, spread out over 24 cities. Of the 24, I think only 4 of them are less than size 5. The first city with a supermarket, it had so much luxury. The capital is Kyoto, size 17, which is 6 units smaller than Tokyo. But it has the highest luxury of all Japan at 130. Hasn't grown too large due to the irrigation required. Maybe I should be doing some of this. Look at this. The irrigation required to get Japan ready to win. Take a chance. There's like the 1300s. Keep one caravel is in 1340. Magellan was in 1310. Which is the full-on Tokyo show. Perhaps the end wasn't. These are turn numbers. So at 2, research says what I had to do to entirely take care of pollution and have it stay on the book, so I was actually leading the world for pollution, even though my production numbers were huge. that occurs here. 1725, about 25 years ago. Capital is Kyoto, size 17, highest luxury, like I said. It hasn't grown too large due to irrigation required since the beginning of the game. 250 turns ago. Kyoto's first city with a supermarket and one of the last cities, kind of like Tokyo, to get the benefit of supermarket on the fields around it, which are all irrigated. So I can grow to a fairly large size. In fact, I held Kyoto back to allow for the length of time it required. The nearby city of Nara, which is the second city of Japan and the heart of all things Japanese until Kyoto's coming out party, which is when it got a supermarket and the rest of the world went absolutely ape crap trying to keep up. Irrigation is exactly the same as a long-term aqueduct. And that's the reason why I knew this. The rage quit decision back when I got Magellan. When got Magellan is determined. Got Magellan in 1300. So the Magellan's trip was in 1300 for me. It turned into the long term. Keep one caravel because there were a number of competing boats that got built in 3 different harbors. and it caused military concern in 3 different harbors. So when did the Statue of Liberty get made? Keep one caravel. 1330 for the Statue of Liberty in Tokyo. Pretty cool. Pretty fucking cool. I know exactly where everything was. That's the Tokyo show. Rage quitting 101. No. Japanese tactics 101. Use military activity. This is the first thing. Number A. Actually, don't use military activity. Scratch that. Forget about it. Let's start at the bottom of the list first and work our way up. Save time and effort by using settlers to bridge some harbors and some temples together, or old boats. It's all up to you.